Welcome back to the channel, everybody, on this warm, muggy, rainy, we had some hail Friday. Want to talk to you about outdoor hiking gear, and this is just my opinion. Now, everything I say is my opinion, but also a bit of my experience. And one thing I see a lot of, I get emails all the time. I get a lot of questions, and also get a lot of, this is an area that I've been working in for a long time, but a lot of people are asking, they look for backpacks and equipment to use for hiking. And I have been working in this industry. Not only did I participate in it for 10 years as a soldier, but I also worked in the industry selling for over 23 years now, if not a little bit more. And in the very beginning, I worked in the more tactical side of things, working with military, police, security, and outdoor gear. But now I've been still working with that for many years. But I have a tendency I prefer more of the outdoor gear side. And there is some military gear that will work very well for the outdoor market, but a lot of it I see, it's just not necessary. I mean, these little 3-day backpacks or 24-hour backpacks, I see some of them are expensive, some of them aren't, but they have lots of MOLLE webbing on them and lots of zippers and lots of compartments, and I feel a lot of this adds to the weight, okay? And one thing I learned as a soldier is that weight, my glass is so crooked, weight is very important, okay? Because when you tend to cut back on as much weight as possible, because you're going to carry a lot of weight, especially as a soldier. Now, in the outdoor market, for a day pack, for example, you don't need to be wearing a military backpack for that. You don't need to have that. There are lots of really good civilian backpacks out there, and there are a few military design backpacks, for example, the Berghaus Munro, and some of the camel backpacks, which are quite good. I'm not saying all of the tactical backpacks are not good. I mean, Helicon Tex has some really good, very simple. Look for something simple. Keep it simple, stupid. It's a mantra that I'm just not seeing anymore. I don't see it at all anymore. People are not following this mantra. They're not following this concept, this idea. You need to keep it simple, stupid. And the more twists that you add to it, the more things you add to it, it's just adding more weight. And this is taking away from the pleasure of being outdoors when you have to hump a heavy rucksack around. Now, there are some things you're going to need. And in the very beginning, you're going to have heavier stuff because it's less expensive. And with time, you're going to try to invest in lighter weight material. Some of this works out, some of it doesn't. Here's a good example. I have an Australian Army Basha or Tarp. And I have a UK issued Basha tarp, and I have some ultra lightweight tarps. I even have one from Hilliberg. Exped makes them really good. A lot of these companies make really good tarps. The problem you're going to find is that you need the right size for what you're going to do, but also, the problem I had in the very beginning, I still feel a bit, is that my military tarp for the Australian Army is a bit too heavy. But I realized actually it's also a bit stronger, and it's easier to adapt. Now, I had this little compact, very lightweight camouflage tarp I'd gotten from a company, and I tried it out, and I used it several times. Now, I passed it on to somebody else. Actually, I gave it to them as a gift, but it had some holes in it. So the quality is not nearly the level that it should have been. I am always looking for a much lighter weight tarps. I also can look at, ponchos, because ponchos have a multitask. You can use them to cover your body, or you can use them to sleep under. And in the Army, that's what we did primarily. I don't think I ever remembered wearing a poncho in 10 years, but I sure as hell slept under a bunch of them. But try to cut out as much weight as possible. Now, I had this really nice, and I'm going to try to sell it actually, really nice UK Army tarp, but it's just so damn slippery. You can't pack it up, and it's also to be used as a stretcher. Now it has a whole bunch of extra handles on it, so it adds to the weight. Another problem with it is that when you set up as a tarp, the damn thing, water follows those handles, so you get dripped on the whole time you're sleeping under it. And I've had this happen to me several times, and it's just infuriating, you know. I just don't. For me, it's not what I want. It's not what it's supposed to be about, you know. It's not what it's made for. You know, backpacks the same. You know, you also, like I said, find something simple. Hilleberg, like I said, there's a really, not Hilleberg, but a lot of companies have some really good backpacks that are very simple. I just want a tube. A tube I can stuff all my stuff in, single opening at the top with a drawstring, and a cover on it. Okay. Is it nice to have something on the outside? Yes. I mean, if you have some small pouches on the outside, some mesh pockets or some stretch material on the outside, you can slip your water bottles in. That's better. That's really good. And that's probably something I'm gonna look at in the future, because not that I want to replace my Munro, but because my Munro is getting old. I have one buckle on, it's a little bit broken, and I just like to, you know, I like that access to the pockets on the outside. Now I have, like I said, I have this pack right here from Camelback, and it does have a few outside pockets on it, but it has a lot of other pockets on it too, and it adds to the weight. And this weight matters. It matters so much. Like I said, I just finished 10 days hiking. Okay, I'm no longer a young man. I'm 52 years old. I have extra weight on me, and I have to make it as light as possible. I carry a required amount of things. I carry the 10 essentials with me, with a few extras, and I always carry that. I will never deviate from that. The reason why I will not, because I'm a bit of a you never know kind of guy. You know, you never know when you may need something, and I always come back and go through my stuff and what do I need, what I don't need. Okay. And I know that if something was to happen, I was get caught out in a storm or something like that, I'd have what I need in there, you know. And I haven't deviated from that. Now I did take out a few items because I felt like I was doubling up on certain items. I sort of, you know, and I realized it was like, why do I need two of these? I don't need two of these. So I was taking things out, you know. But for day hikes, I think that's fine. Now look, day hiking and bushcrafting for me is two different ball games, you know. I don't know a lot of people who bushcraft with that kind of weight material for days and days and days. There may be some people out there who are constantly hiking and bushcrafting. There sure are. I'm sure there are, you know. I'm not doing that. I'll go out and have a fixed site. Most bushcrafters I know are more fixed site people, and because they like to have a camp atmosphere, and the material's heavy. A lot of material's heavy. I don't deviate too much between my bushcraft and my lightweight hiking gear either, you know. I do have several rucksacks, but and one of them is a military rucksack, the current Marine Corps issued rucksack, but I also do not use that in the summertime. I use it uniquely for the wintertime. And I've been thinking I probably need to change that around a little bit. I need to get a lighter rucksack with a bigger quantity, bigger volume. I mean, I have a 60-liter Granite Gear rucksack, which is really lightweight, and that damn rucksack is good. I'm very happy with that rucksack. I can even use it for a day pack. And it has a nice waistband system on it. It's a very comfortable wearing rucksack, and it's been very durable. I've been very happy with it, you know. But I had this tendency that I like that Marine Corps rucksack. It's just a solid pack, but it weighs. That damn rucksack weighs more than several rucksacks together. It's a bit heavier, you know. Yeah, I'm always looking into that. But you know, rucksacks have to meet a certain. I want to meet a certain quality that I am asking from it. You know, I don't need a whole lot of stuff on it. I don't like all the MOLLE stuff on it on a pack. I would rather have fixed pouches set up the way I like it. I do like the Alice style pack, so I tend to set up all my rucksacks that way because I like those outer pockets to put stuff in, like you know, cook stove, wet weather gear, and canteens and first aid kit. These are things I do have no problem carrying on the outside of my rucksack, but they're going to be in a pouch. Everything for me has to fit in the rucksack, okay? Either a pouch on the outside or the core part of the rucksack. Everything has to fit in. I don't like all these zippers. The problem with zippers is that they tend to break, okay? So you need to have a backup plan for that. Now, on my Munro, I do have a small zipper on the flap, and it works fine. It's worked fine for 15 years. I haven't had a problem with it. But also, I don't overload that pouch to put stress on that zipper, because if you do that, the zipper can open up and can come apart, and then you have a little bit of trouble there. A best way to fix that is come up with a system for snaps or buttons, but no one likes that either, and that's a bit of a pain in the butt. Or a system where it's some kind of maybe a draw closure or something like that, or just or Velcro. I don't just like the Velcro either, because it makes a lot of noise. Plus, it gets debris in it, and it don't last. It don't last forever. But so far, so it's a good. If you have a good zipper, and this one does, I definitely I recommend that. Now, on my day packs, I don't like a whole lot of suspension system. I just wear them around my shoulder. I don't carry a whole lot of weight in it. This past 10 days, I think I spoke about this before, I carried the 10 essentials in it. Plus I carried, I wore my baseball cap. I had my sunglasses with me. I had not suntan lotion. I wasn't tanning. I had sunblock. I had some insect repellent in there. I did have my first aid kit. I had something to eat during the day. Water, plenty of water, rain jacket. Okay, and and I had a poncho liner with me, and the poncho liner for me is a really good. You can get under it, you can sleep on it, sleep in it, and I remember back in the day, guys used to put zippers in them, and you can get them with zippers, or you can put zippers in yours, so make it to a sleeping bag. But these work really well, and I like to just sort of lay it out in the shade, get on it, lay on it, and relax. During the day when I have like a break or having something to eat, I like to do that. I do carry stuff to make a fire with me, but I don't carry a stove with me when I'm doing that, unless it's going to be a long trip and I want to eat something hot at midday. I don't like eating hot at midday. I prefer to have something maybe, I usually don't even eat anything warm in the morning. It's probably a mistake, but I don't necessarily do it. I tend to eat 2 meals a day. I'll have a light something at lunch, and then at night I'll have a hot meal. That's usually how I do it. It serves me fine. I'm actually well under the calories, but I drink a lot of water, and so that did me really well on that trip. Also, It's funny because I lost some weight on the trip, and then I got home, and in the past 4 days I've been eating. So I think I've picked it all back up. 10 days and the 4 days I've been eating. But anyway, just cut back on the weight that you can. And that you can. But when other things, I love my Tilly hat, okay? But the problem with it is that they're damn warm. It's a very warm hat, It protects you from the rain. It doesn't protect you from the cold, but it keeps your head a little bit too warm. I do like wearing, so I did wear a baseball cap while I was out there, one with a mesh in the back. It had absolutely no practical use except that it did shade my eyes and it did protect the top of my scalp, because that's the last place you want to get burnt is on top of your scalp, But so that was fine for what I did, That hat got the hell bleached out of it though by the sun. That's I can tell you. But yeah, and I carried a little handkerchief with me, and I can dip it in water. I can cool myself down with, wash myself off with it, or just protect myself, in some form or another. One thing I did find out is that I kept forgetting my damn face mask. And so when I come around people, it's good to have that handkerchief. It looked like a cowboy, but it was okay. And I also carried my gloves with me because I have a tendency to want to protect my hands as much as possible. I'm getting older, and they're not frail, but they're not as strong as they used to be. And I tend to want to protect them a little bit. And I have I get blisters with my walking stick sometimes. So if I wear the gloves, then that sort of protects my hands a bit. And if I'm around the fire at night too, it's nice to have a pair of gloves, this kind of stuff, and they serve me really well. But yeah, going back to the concept of this video, and that is, be careful what military stuff you use in the lightweight hiking stuff, okay? Because like I said, not all military stuff, it's just really heavy, a lot of it is. Now in the very beginning, yeah, sure. Hey, look, get yourself a poncho, military poncho, but if and how I look is like this right here, and I tell this to my clients, I tell this to people, I tell this to my students. You in the very beginning, don't go all out throwing $500 for a knife and $1,000 for a tent and all this kind of stuff, and $1,500 for whatever. In the very beginning, you can go with your regular trainers. Get you some wool socks, though, so you don't get blisters. Some regular fitness shorts, whatever, some kind of a synthetic or wool t-shirt, have yourself some, get yourself, but when it comes to the other material, yeah, you may use a blanket in the very beginning. When I was growing up, we didn't have sleeping bags. We had none whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I bought my first sleeping bag when I got to Germany in 1990, I think. Yeah, 1990. And I bought myself a North Face Cat's Meow. I still have that bag, by the way. It's around here somewhere. I need to find it. But, and I bought a tent also, and a Eureka. Now, it's a bigger tent, a bit heavier, but a very solid tent. And when I was younger, I could carry it with a lot of other stuff, no problem. But, yeah, you may start off that way in the very beginning. You don't have to go out with a whole bunch of expensive stuff. You can actually just get a regular tarp that you cover stuff up in the yard for the very beginning, as long as it's like a 3 meter by 3 meter, 9 foot by 9 foot, 10 foot by 10 foot, like that. And you can get you some cheap old cord. In the very beginning, go that route and see if you like camping, see if you like hiking, see if you like bushcrafting first. And little by little, replace the things that are important, okay? See what you need to replace. I remember seeing a guy who did, an older guy who did the Appalachian Trail with a running suit, sneakers, and garbage bag with his kid in it. And that's how he did the Appalachian Trail. This was some many years ago. But although I don't suggest that, anything's possible, But what I do suggest, though, is that you start off on the lower scale when it comes to money, and little by little build up, And a lot of people I know, they'll go online and sell their old backpack before they'll buy a new one. Nothing wrong with that, unless that's your only backpack and you sort of use it as like an everyday carry or a bob or a skate pack or whatever like that, And that's something you can also think about doing too, because that's something you can keep in the car with some kit built in it, or keep it at the door just in case. But for your hiking needs, this kind of stuff, little by little, go out there and do a lot of research, or talk to somebody who's not trying to sell you just anything, but talk to somebody you can have a relationship with, myself, for example, and help to try to guide you in the best direction. I have a lot of clients that I do this with. I even go out, if I don't have the product, I even bring them to a store and show them, and we discuss it and this kind of stuff. And there's 2 young ladies. I think they're probably finished now with their trip. I haven't heard from them recently, but I just help them, and they do like a 2-week trip every year. And I just help them to get themselves sorted out. Now they have some more things to go, because one of them has a really awful rucksack that she got online. It costs nothing, but it just not made for her little body, So hopefully for next year, I can help her to get something a little bit better for her size and the quantity, the volume you need. The reason why I'm saying also that don't go out and buy a tactical rucksack to go day hiking. Okay, you buy a tactical rucksack to do tactical stuff with. The reason why I'm saying this is because they're heavier. They're stitched in a way, a lot of them are. I mean, not all of them are the same, but some of them are stitched in a way that they're just over constructed. And so they have a lot of reinforcements on it that you don't necessarily need. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but all this molly webbing, all these zippers, this kind of stuff, zippers are not waterproof unless they are, okay? And they can break, okay? And so that's and they weigh. That's the 3 things there. I try to exclude that. Like I said, get you something very simple, and use that. I mean, hell, I remember having a Eastpak school bag. I used to, matter of fact, when I was at the Gulf War in '91, I carried an Eastpak bag that was green that I'd gotten. It's a really interesting story. I was in the AFES. I was the AFES in Germany. And I was walking behind the AFE because it was sort of the route to our barracks. And there was a dumpster full of these Eastpaks. And so I grabbed one, went around to the front door of them because I knew the people who were there. I said, listen, I found all these in a dumpster back there. What's up? They said, well, they're all been thrown out because they got water damage. And they said, I can have them. So, man, I carried as many as I could in my hands back to the barracks. I was giving them out as gifts. And I kept 2, a green one and a blue one. Sadly, the green one, I gave off to somebody else or during or after the war when I got back, but the blue one, my ex-wife kept. And she used the hell out of that pack, actually. And it's a good solid bag. I mean, they were really well made back then in the day. I don't know about now, but they were also guaranteed. But you know, and look at what you got at home too before you start going crazy. But there's some really good packs out there. They're not very expensive. Like I said, Helicon Tex has a really good, very simple packs also that are very easy. Like I said, the Munro from Berghaus. I was looking the other day. They aren't for free, but they are solid, and I have a lot of good things. The only thing I need to do is I need to replace the buckle on one of mine. And I think it's it's the buckle I could easily replace. Actually, it's on the slide actually, and I can and actually it works fine the way it is. It still works. It's just I need to replace that buckle. But yeah, just be careful. You know, army shoes, okay, army boots. I don't like a tall boot to wear. I wore it enough in my life. The problem is that it cuts a lot of your circulation. Has all these extra. It's just a little bit complicated. This whole week I used low quarter hiking shoes, more like trail running shoes. Did me very well. I did sprain my ankle one day, but I recovered. I was fine, and this did me very, very well. I mean, I wear La Sportiva, and I have Salomons actually that I use for outdoor hiking and that kind of stuff. And even when I go shooting and stuff, I'll throw the Salomons on. But and they're very good shoes, very comfortable, you know. And I've had them for very years. I mean, the only problem I ever had with any of my Salomons is I had to replace the laces. Now, what I don't like about their low quarter, not the quarter, the 3/4, or the I think they have a 4-inch or 5-inch. I find it that it's just open up. It's too loose. Debris gets in it. I would much prefer that to be the lower or a little bit higher, just a little bit higher, and it would come together better at the ankle. That'd be a much better to keep debris out, you know. But of course, there exist little small gaiters, runner's gaiters you can put on them, and that works also just as well. And that's probably something I'm going to look into in the near future. I need to replace my gaiters. I've actually don't have gaiters anymore, or I may have a pair around here somewhere, but I need to get a new pair of gaiters, for one for the winter and another for like I said, for hiking this kind of stuff. It's really good to have that to sort of keep the debris out of your shoes. And that's something I found also is that I was encountering, even on the hike I just went on, I would have some debris in my shoes. And yeah. Be wary of that weight. That weight will cause you to either have a good or a bad experience in the outdoors. You know, I see a lot of videos, a lot of people carry a lot of redundant stuff. You know, you don't need 5-6 knives on it, you know. You can, if you have a good, I mean, for bushcraft purpose, you don't even need an axe. You can have a good fixed blade knife and a saw, and you've covered a lot of stuff. But for me, I mean, if you got a Leatherman, carry your Leatherman, and that covers a lot of things also for lightweight hiking. We're talking about here now. Let's get away from bushcraft, lightweight hiking. I carry my had it for 35 years, my little Victorinox camper, I think it's called. And I love that knife. It's got everything I need on it. It works fantastic. It did me really well this past week. And so I can definitely recommend that. But yeah, so try to find the things that work really well, but are lightweight. Get quality also. Quality is very good. Not in the very beginning, you may not go that route. But if you're going to buy something to replace something, do it for quality. And that's important also, because you want to use this forever, okay? And what you can do is, like your old kit, you can put together and have it for a second person, you know, or a newcomer. If you have a friend or something like that who's getting into it, wants to get into it, so listen, here's a bag right here, all the stuff's in it. You know, I've used it, it works. It's heavy, but you can try it out in the very beginning and see how you like the outdoors and that kind of stuff, because not everybody is going to like that. A lot of people, they go out, you know, it's the day stuff, they carry almost nothing on them. I've seen people walk around with a water bottle in their hand. That's all they have with them. They don't have a knife. They don't have they don't even have headlamps. And then they're the ones that get lost in the woods or something. They don't really know the routes. They're following trail signs, trail markers that sometimes aren't always there. Next thing you know, they're getting home late, and especially if you're walking up in the mountains. Some of these trails are quite tricky, and if you don't have a headlamp in the night, you risk falling off the mountain. So that's something else you got to be careful of. So there's a lot of things involved there. But anyway, in the very beginning, okay, you know, go what you can get. But as you go along, go for that quality. Now, if you are someone who has a good budget in the very beginning, and you want to get quality equipment, and you know that this is something you want to do, or you thought that if you'd be more motivated once you've invested into it, but quality equipment, okay, go that route. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. But like I said, you know, I have friends of mine who's got, you know, I'm just as bad. You know, I have this tendency to want to test out several types of rucksacks, okay, and I test it out one time and realize that this is not the right one for me, and I put it in the corner or trying to get rid of it or give it as a gift or try to sell it or whatever, and replace it with what really works best for me, you know. And so far, I'm actually in a good zone. I'm in a really good zone right now. The only thing I need to do right now is work on my. I need to replace my my water filter. I'm not as content with the Sawyer system as a lot of other people are. I just find, and I have this little bag right here. It's really lightweight. That's what I do like about it. But I'm going to use it as a survival item and not as a permanent camp item. I'm going to get myself a much better quality, like a Catadine, or go back to MSR. I have no problem paying the price. I do want lightweight. This is lightweight, but it's just not practical. It's just so, I mean, if anybody tells you this is practical, I think they sold themselves on the idea, okay? When you've used other filters, okay, and then you go to this right here, you realize this is not nearly as practical as other filters are, all right? It's not nearly as easy. I mean, like I said, this right here that I have here is MSR here. I mean, it is heavier. It is a little bit heavier, you know. It is a little more bulkier, but you know what? It works. It's worked fantastic. I just need to replace it. I need to get myself another one. You know, that's it. And once I've done that, I'll be back to being happy again with what I have, you know. I mean, I know how to get all around all this stuff. I don't necessarily need a filter. I can always go with boiling my water, this kind of stuff. But yeah. And like I said, also, you don't need to go out and buy all these expensive canteens in the very beginning either. I mean, you can just use water bottles, you know. There's some things that are there. You can just keep using them and you can use them, you know. So, yeah. So that's all I want to talk to you about right now. Think about that, okay, and you know, and put your kit together as you do put it together. And if you have any questions about this, please ask me. Okay, I'm here. I'm giving out all this mental poop for free, and I just like to see people do things the right way the first time instead of having to just blow a lot of money into these things, and it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Of course, the industry loves it when you do that. And I'm part of the industry, but I'm not someone who loves to see that. I like to help people get what they need right the first time, and then make a relationship that's a positive relationship, and hopefully even gain a hiking partner, this kind of stuff. I really enjoy that. But anyway, I want to thank you. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you have a comment, please leave comments. I love comments. I love reading them, and I answer all of them. I don't get very many of them. This is all very beginning still. But and if you have any questions, please leave a comment. And subscribe to my channel, please. And share it. Share it with all your friends, please. Get the word out there. I'm trying to build this up because I see a lot of stuff out there, and I just don't. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I see a lot of these hiking videos. They're showing you all their kit, and I show you my kit too. But my kit is not the brand new latest stuff. It's stuff that I know that works and that I trust and I believe in. I'm not necessarily a testing equipment channel. I buy it because I want to use it. Okay, and if it doesn't work, I'm honest with you about it. If I don't like it, I'm honest with you about it. If it does work, I'm honest with you about it. So I'm not here to sell you something. I'm just here to help you. Anyway. Thank you again. Hope you all have a very good weekend, and I hope to make another video for you soon and hear back from you. Anyway, take care of yourselves and take care. Bye-bye.